something I learned in summer split is probably just to not get too complacent with myself. Even though I didn't feel like I was like fully complacent, I definitely think I could have done more. Just in terms of, just playing the game more and, I don't know, even helping out my teammates more with just like their roles and stuff would have been a lot better than just like kind of focusing on myself. So that's something I look to do this split.
We'll see if the improvement comes in for then Counter Logic Gaming. Then welcome back. It's time for Game 2 of Counter Logic Gaming versus Cloud9. And a reminder to all of you to call it your favorite plays of the weekend by tweeting at LOL Esports with the hashtag LCS Big Plays. And we'll make sure to pull up some of our favorites of your favorites at the end of the first week of play.
Favorites on favorites.
Favorites of favorites.
I did like what he was talking about, though, and that's kind of something that I was alluding to earlier with bringing in Dardoch. Maybe he's going to be the one to kind of reignite that passion that Stixay was talking about. Maybe he lost a little bit of, and really have that drive for this season.
Yeah, and it's interesting because just like we heard Darshan say before the show started, that CLG is not the friendship team. We stayed together because we thought it was the best way to win, to be the best team in North America. That squad had won a championship before, and it's like you just keep trying at it, and maybe you make it happen again. Darshan, of course, in the top lane right there. You see him on your screen. He will be up against Ray again in Game 2. So Ray's actually staying on. Back in the TSM final, it was Ray and Impact who would play blue side and red side. They'd alternate all the time. This time around, it's just Ray is playing for Cloud9.
And that was a little bit foreshadowed by Ray, starting first game, full tank, Galio, right? This is not just, he's playing offensive carries. He's building Infinity Edge and Ghostblade and stuff on every champion without playing. This is a new, more well-rounded Ray, and this is a Ray that's going to stick in for the entire... well, maybe not the entire.
Maybe not the entire,
one,
but it seems he is clearly the primary top laner for them. We'll see when Impact, and if he does come in, of course, it was Cloud9 themselves who banned Fiora away. Like, they're clearly saying, Darshan, don't play carries. No other top lane bans were in for them for a while, and he's like, yep, Galio's the one.
And that being said, let's talk a little bit about that draft, because not only did they get the Galio, but also Lulu was so highly prioritized, and they were able to pick that one up pretty easily as well in conjunction. So... let's see if Cloud9 can have as good of a draft on this red side, or if CLG will switch it up a little bit. The Zac is pretty much the red side duty ban, you pretty much have to perm ban.
Seems to be the case so far. Zac's only gotten like one-ish play in pro play so far. It's not much. CLG have reprised their role. They're still banning Elise Way themselves. They've now added Olaf to that list to get it away from contracts. We'll see what else they do to try to take him down.
Yeah, it's interesting that in order to kind of break that one up, they decide to add the Olaf to their list of contracts bans. I wonder if they're still going to, prioritize the Lee Sin and pick Lee Sin away from contracts, or what they're going to really push him down to. Because we kind of talked about, Dardoch has a very big champion pool for a jungler, and has had success on so many different champions.
Yeah.
But Contracts is by no means one of those guys with a limited champion pool either.
Yep, definitely knows what he's doing. We'll see what comes through in this one. Last few seconds for the first phase of bans to end. And Shen has been banned blue side yet again, so Cloud9 got to drop that ban. We'll see if they keep the Fiora ban from before. And it's going to be Kennen instead. Worth noting, actually, Kennen was entirely unpicked in the previous game and has been one of, if not the most prolific top laner in pro play so far this split. And Gragas going to be the early grab here for CLG. They really consider that to be a strong champion.
Yeah, I wonder if it's still going to go with Darshan as well, or how valid is the possible flex pick right now for Dardoch, because it's definitely a champion that he has a decent amount of time in as well. I feel like the threat of flexing it into the jungle is not quite that high. It's very, very much more probably in the top side. See if Ray wants to try and run some sort of pushing into it.
And meanwhile, Cloud9 really showing high priority on Varus here, and it's interesting because this is sort of a more metagame point, but are they trying to show everyone they like Varus, that TSM plays differently when they play on Saturday? I don't think so, but like I've seen players do that before, like Rapid Star at All-Star 2014 or whatever. Like sometimes you have that as like the back of your mind.
So if it was a more obscure pick, like they're like picking Twitch over, or not even that, but like if it was a more obscure pick, then maybe, but Varus is so popular anyway.
Ooh.
Yay! Here we go.
Xayah makes her North American debut alongside Rakan in the bot lane.
Oh,
name a more iconic duo.
Oh my goodness. Playmaking, please. Oh, Rakan is such a fun support to watch. he actually feels like the Lee Sin of support to me, because he has so many dashes, and there are new combos still emerging with this guy because he is so recent. Like, I've seen so many people, talk about how quickly you can get off the W into ultimates and for the instant charms and the wombo combos you can set up with him. I don't think, his laning is the strongest, but we'll see how Stixxay and Aphromoo can actually get through that lane phase.
Sure.
Versus Sneaky and Smoothie. Last time, Stixxay and Aphromoo had the Caitlyn Karma, which is super power for bottom lane, mega pushing, and very easy to pull off lane phase, and they did have a CS lead. This time around, I'm really curious to see if they can have the same effectiveness against a Varus Lulu.
Absolutely.
Which should be quite strong.
Yeah, as Cloud9 have the same dual lane as previously here, and you're right, it's CLG with the losing matchup as you illustrated before. Bans and picks still coming through. This time CLG will ban away Fiora. So both teams respect the champion as a viable, strong, pickable top laner, and it's CLG saying, you know what, Ray, you are not allowed to play this into our Gragas top, we assume, and with the Lee Sin gone, we still have to wait to see what Dardoch will play here.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's always, fingers crossed for Ray Riven to try and see that one come out, because he's been such a terror in solo queue, but probably not going to be the case here. I think they might want something a little bit more sturdy. Ivern, though, and Kha'Zix, so more of the jungle bans coming through. It looks like they are of the same opinion, where the threat of a Gragas flex is very, very low over to the jungle spot. High priority that probably does stay on the top side.
I wonder if she's allowed to be demoted to a much later ban here, but still removed from the options by CLG.
Jensen as well actually has all of his options open. I mean, all the champions that you think of when
Ori,
you think
Syndra, Echo.
Yeah, exactly. These very high damage, good scaling mages for him in the mid lane, where he can get a bunch of power farm and
of course
carry
Ray gets
team
the signature.
fights. Yeah.
Ray gets the signature Jarvan. Now, I do want to point out that last game, CLG banned Jarvan even with the Galio already showing. So if they thought it was the Galio flex, that might be the reason. Or there's, I guess, the chance that Huhi or something, or sorry, that Jensen plays mid Jarvan randomly, but I don't know. That's unlikely. Jarvan's almost definitely in top lane.
Yeah, there definitely is the chance. Small chance, though. I'm very curious to see if Ray does go. He'll probably go with the Grasp Jarvan top side that we've seen so much, max out the shield and go for those more effective trades. Okay, so the flex does come through.
It does come through.
By the jungler bans, that may have been an adding factor if they hadn't banned out both.
Right, pick an Ivern instead, keep the
exactly.
Gragas,
But
like
it is going to be forced here or chosen anyway, and the Renekton into the Jarvan should be favorable here for Darshan.
Worth noting, actually, Renekton is in a slightly weaker state, I'd argue, right now in 7.10 because there's a lot of code work done on him that was reverted in 7.11. So some of his old cancels are actually deleted right now from the game. Syndra does come through as the mid laner here for Jensen. As you mentioned, all of his normal options are available to be picked up here. The trademark Ray Jarvan is in, and Darshan gets Renekton.
Yeah, and the Syndra into the Orianna here, you got to be a little bit scared for who he is. Jensen is looking to be in his regular shape that we do expect from him. Good performance in the first game on his Orianna, and now it's going to be up to Huhi to try and combat that. But I think most of the story is going to be, how does a professional Rakan Zyra lane actually Xayah perform? Yeah.
We've said Zyra so many times, and expect some mistakes from us over the course of the year with that champion, as Zyra is still a reasonably popular support pick as well, but we are ready to go into the second one. Cloud9, so far a perfect split for them. Of course, they're headed off to face TSM tomorrow, but for now it is off against Cloud9 versus Counter Logic Gaming. Twisting words here, but against one of the other old guards here in North America. CLG thought that with Dardoch it would be better. He said it's been a great environment for him. They're all hardworking. He's been very happy with the team so far as well. And Dardoch did have, as the analysts have said, a very, very good first 10-15 minutes in Game 1. Now on the Gragas instead of Lee Sin, we'll see what impact it can be. Fighters in the top lane, high-impact junglers, high-impact mid laners, and Zyra Rakan to the bot lane.
Oh, yeah. Gragas is also very capable of creating early plays as well. I'm very curious to see where he does burn his first flash. Gonna have to wait a while for that one, though. So let's go over actually Rakan and Xayah
Yeah.
because they do get those bonuses. My favorite bonus of running both of the duo is the increased range on the dash for Rakan to Xayah.
Yeah.
It's actually a pretty significant, seemingly to me, increase in the range. So he gets huge mobility, and there's possible not only for saving her, but big initiations followed up by escapes from him due to that increased range.
You can cover several thousand distance by jumping to the Xayah and then jumping on the Gragas afterwards or something. And it's one of the things I really do like with Rakan is having someone else to dive in first. His follow-up engage is so good, so jumping onto Darshan or Dardoch and then hitting the ulti from there is super big.
Into W into R is such a good combo for me and such an easy one to pull off. Very quick and long range engage. The other ones are, of course, like the combined recall. That one's pretty cool. I actually like that one quite a lot because your support can start the recall for you. AD gets to farm the last 2 minions or whatever, and saves you a bit of time.
Yeah, it saves more time than like someone lanterning you out of the fountain on the way out. Like if there's a thresh or something, and you get to walk less time. But either way, this is where we are. After we've got to start Coin on Rakan. For those who haven't followed the mid-season updates, Coin works differently now. It's not as passive. You got to pick up what's essentially thresh souls off of dying minions to get your gold.
Yeah, and you have to be a bit closer to the minions. You can't really play super defensively far back. So we'll see how Aphromoo does it picking those up. Rakan is very mobile, so definitely one of the easier ones, even if they are getting pressured in lane.
And further talking about choices made here by Aphromoo, he is going Courage the Colossus on Rakan. Both his W and R will apply the Keystone, but I've seen many different options. I've seen Thunderlords, I've seen Wind Speakers, and he's going with the tankiest option with the Courage of the Colossus.
That, to me, is looking for some more playmaking here. Big shield when he does go in. But Smoothie and Sneaky waste no time in going fairly aggressively.
Stun at level 1. No auto attack came out of Stixay. Just got the Qs down, and that was it. A little bit of damage there. And we can see who he and Jensen trading back and forth as well. This matchup should favor Jensen based on the champions.
Yeah, and that kill pressure post level 6 for Syndra on Orianna is very big. I do expect Jensen to play that lane aggressively. So to me, that would require some jungler attention around the mid lane, maybe some drop off on wards, or maybe some early passes. It looks like Contracts at least is going for multi-camp clear here, not going for the quick level 3 into proactive play. Clearing out the wolves as well before going for his blue buff. Meanwhile, pings go down onto Dardoch, so they're well aware he's over on the blue side and should not be surprised up there.
See a lot of normal stuff right here. Doran Shield start actually for the Renekton into Jarvan is interesting. The Doran Shield start for Xayah completely normal based on the fact that it's a losing lane, so that is an option when you realize in champ select that you drafted a pretty weak 2-on-2 or 1-on-1. Shield will keep you alive a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, the shield is absolutely massive right now. You get your extra potion. It's so cheap.
Yeah.
And a huge amount of sustain. Here goes Contracts down to invade on the red side. See if he'll actually go scout out the red. He does not. Just assumes, as is very standard, that Krugs were left out of that early clear. Goes over to steal on the bottom side. And with Dardoch pathing back over to his red now, they might actually meet up. So here is the possible confrontation.
Yeah, so Contract's going to finish off the Krugs no problem, get away with it onto the right-hand side. No wards see him.
He also has no reason to assume that red is up, because it's so standard. You obviously are going to assume that the red Raptors as well as red were cleared before Gragas transitioned over to the blue side, but doesn't even bother to check that, as soon as it is up. Remember, this is an Infernal Dragon as well, so as much as it is important to see if mid lane is playing aggressive and if they're pushed up, bottom lane also will determine a lot of this.
And Cloud9's bottom lane has the pressure here, so you'd expect Contracts to be able to make a play for this one. At around level 5, I think Lee Sin can solo an Infernal Drake reasonably easily. We'll see if he buys some long swords from him, make it happen. Knocko's going to land. Look at the damage output. They got the root of side, and look at the damage output. They're going to take him down. First blood to Xayah and Rakan in the bot lane.
Dardoch was here as well. This was a thought-out play where they set it up. They call jungler support down as well for just the coming through the lane, just in case Contracts was there. So they were even prepared for Contracts being around that bottom lane when they went aggressive. And it's good to see teams take that extra cautionary step. Well, we want to all in. We know we can pull off a 2v2 kill with Rakan Zyra going all in with the Ignite. Contracts here in mid lane. Don't want to go too low health under the turrets. But anyways, back to that preparation. Take a look at this. Because you can see Dardoch in the lane, and his main presence there is if Contract is you know, in that bush in the river and pushes the duo back, they can actually retreat back to their Gragas. But he's not even needed, and just there for the extra support.
It's there to look pretty. So CLG first blood in both of their games so far, and this is a bottom that can definitely take over. I think jury's still out on exactly what role Xayah fills, but she's seemed to have pretty good scaling so far. She is an Infinity Edge user. Essence Reaver start is actually pretty common, but should be going into a 70% crit build, and that means that Sixer should have a pretty good mid to late game as long as you can get the autos off. Yeah,
she is incredibly hard to dive if she times her ultimate well. You know, Jarvan, while threatening, is actually pretty telegraphed. Very telegraphed, in fact, and good Xayah should be able to, if cooldown's available, be able to dodge out most of that damage for the dive, as well as Syndra ultimate. You know, you can use it on there. Looks like we might have a dive.
Big stun is there. Body slam flash. Ray flashes back over the knockup. Beautiful execution. Ray gets out and had just enough mana to cast his skills.
Absolutely sick escape there from Ray. I don't know if he counted the mana beforehand, but it is one of the worst feelings ever if you throw down the flag Q combo and you didn't have enough for the second part. Regardless, great flash to get the knockup and gain his distance for the escape. He gets 2 for 1 on Summoner Deal with the 2 versus 1. And doesn't even have to give up more than the rest of this one wave of CS. Here we go, flashes to the opposite side, has his shield up, and able to get out.
And Darshan had to flash there. If he got knocked up, he was dead to the turret for sure, so he barely gets away from the CC and gets out of turret range. That was almost a kill for Ray instead.
Yeah, definitely impressive mechanics here so far from Ray, and well thought out escape. Returning to the Xayah point though, they were down in CS, so they were, as we expected, getting punished in CS as far as the actual laning does go versus the Lulu Varus, but it's not that big a deal, especially having converted the first blood and the gold, kill gold actually going over to Stick.
Sure. But as you mentioned, early gold and whatnot, Contracts individually is up 450 over Dardoch just in farm. Neither have gotten ganks off, but Contracts, level 6, has a lot more gold, has a lot more farm. A lot of pressure now towards the mid lane. Ulti on who he can look for the stun, gonna land that there. Nice body block for Dardoch, buys a bit of time, and he's gonna get a shockwave, and it's just gonna be the kill. Who he's already gone.
Shockwave didn't get to deal damage there because they killed off Who he first. So that was very close to almost getting a counter kill, but not able to have the timing there. Dardoch went for the interrupt, tried to stop Ray's damage for as long as he could. Still, Cloud9 able to pull it off, and they do get a kill back for themselves, and they're rushing for first turret gold. With 3 members here, they actually run out of minions, so Darshan still has the extra time on top side, but they're...
I think Darshan gets it, actually.
Yeah, they're aborting mission here and sending Ray back to the top side.
Well, Darshan right now is running out of minions, so he's going to wait, I think, one more wave to do this as he slices away. And yeah, without Rico coming out of Jensen, it's up to Ray to stop the Renekton to the top side.
All right, so Dardoch was expecting the 2v2 here. As soon as they see Ray, he makes a beeline to stop the Jarvan from getting in range. And while he can delay it, it's not quite enough. So that shockwave, not able to complete there. And Dardoch tried to ult Jarvan back into the turret afterwards, but unable to get a counter kill. Really good kill onto Huhi though. Forced Cloud9, good conversion.
Yeah. Farm lead, the kill. Jensen only got an assist, but it's still put gold in his pocket, and Cloud9 able to get a lot of pressure through their jungler and mid laner mostly.
Yeah, and remember, this is a no summoner Orianna down in CS, just has been killed as well versus Syndra. Like it's a very scary place to be the Orianna at this moment. That's why he's trying to get vision around him.
He had been somewhat of a star for CLG last split, but this game looking a bit dark for him. And Contracts looking just waiting around in the wards. They know they swept away control ward earlier. Doesn't find anything to do with his time. Out he goes. Darshan there will be knocking down first turret. Has some help from Dardoch. Quick knockup actually buys a bit of time, and they're going to be going for the stuns, going for the damage, and Ray actually has no way out anymore. Ult buys a bit of time, but it's not going to matter. Kill comes through. Now looking for the flash kick. They're going to get him onto that one. Huhi chunked a bit low. Here comes Rakan, hoping to save the day. Not going to find much. Finally pops the charm afterwards. Q actually did land, I believe, from Contracts. He triggered Thunderlords with it. Doesn't go for the follow, though. Top lane turret does fall in favor of CLG after that kill onto Ray. It's actually Counterlogic Gaming with the gold lead here.
Yeah, Aframu had enough time to get his W off and get out of range of the second activation. Here comes Dardoch to try and get into position to hold the wave, I think, but maybe they go offensive. Nah, all right, just looking to hold that wave as the duo lane did rotate up.
See what we get for that one. Not quite going to land that one on 6-lane. More shields come up from Aframu. Big double stun, though, for that one. The snipe as well for Sneaky finally joining into the game. And that mid turret, of course, very, very low.
Man, yeah, good camp there from Cloud9 in the mid lane. They know it's a summonerless Orianna. Jensen is fed, play around him. Contracts has flash. He gets the good kickoff, and then Jensen also with that classic Syndra ultimate, so you have more orbs, get your multi-stuns. And it was actually really well timed too, because that's right when Afro arrived. Able to stop that one, but another look, as you're talking about, their kill onto Ray. He goes again for the knock up there onto Deshaun, combining with the escape, but no flash. Means that there's no way he's getting out of there. It's the R into flash for contracts. There's that multi-stun we talked about. And that was Aframu. He uses ultimate for the extra speed,
yeah,
and then his W after to gain that extra range after it landed, so too far.
Yeah, didn't ult to charm anyone in time to save Pookie, but probably had no way of getting him out regardless.
Yeah, he was dead in the duration of the stun.
I think Dardoch got most of those Raptors there. I don't think Jensen stole them away, so passing so far, and now here comes Contracts finally going for that Infernal Drake early in the game. Later than I thought, but still has control bot lane to make it happen.
And this is going to be a pretty meaningful pickup here for Cloud9, because even though...
Oh, Dardoch got smite! Not going to get it in time. He did smite, but it was too early. The kill comes through, and now here comes the fight. Nice Torment and knock up. Lots of damage here. They will not yet get Dardoch. Ray going into the back line, trying to pick off that kill. He's not going to get it. Finally, a 1-for-1 as the kill comes through for Huhi. Aframu staying alive in the back line as well. Darshan full rage in the front. Flash already burned here on this, and out goes Cloud9.
Nice combo there from Aframu to lock up two, but even with that, Dardoch was so low from the original skirmish there around the Drake that it's just a 1-for-1 play.
All right, it's an assist here. It's the CLG duo lane who's been getting all the participation so far without dying. Nice chunk on a Huhi. Jensen with the ulti, gonna shield himself, and Huhi stays alive as a result. Just barely. The 47 magic resist, enough to stay alive.
Ooh, yeah, the flashbang down again, though. Orianna is a prime target. We talked about Zyra with her Zaya with her ultimate is already so difficult to dive, but she's got double summoner. So C9 for the next fight are going to be looking to focus on Huhi. Dang, that is incredibly close there for Dardoch. Not able to get it, but then we get another look at Aframu's combo into the Shockwave here, gonna get the very last bit of damage.
Yeah, and you mentioned combos. I think what he did there was R into W, so when he reaches their charm, they can't flash away. Then the knockup comes through, and it kind of guarantees the lockup.
Yeah, it's incredibly quick.
Yeah, it doesn't maximize CC duration, but it's really, really reliable that way. And
can't react to it.
Yeah, it's pretty much instantaneous, and that's the combo he went for, and obviously will always trigger Courage of the Colossus. Sneaky just going to keep the wave clear in the bot lane, still going for the Blade of the Ruin King build. Early Zerk Greaves on him. Essence Reaver done for Stixxay. At this point, once you're at this sort of level with this item, Stixxay, it's super trivial to wave clear on Zaya. You pretty much always one-shot with any QE auto-attack combo. And it's very easy to farm, easy to keep wave pressure, and Stixxay can kind of be left alone to do this.
All right, so let's see what CLG can do with this mid-game gold lead, because they are down the Infernal Drake. But they do have the gold advantage currently. Ray!
Shockwave the roots there as well, and that was overstepping. It's so easy. Q auto attack E. The follow-up from the Shockwave. Kill comes through onto Ray.
Drawbacks here. Ray getting heavily punished by early focus of ganks on the top side. They dive in, they pressure his turret. The Renekton pick really taking advantage there.
Cast doesn't find anyone in range just yet. Aframu wants to look for the play in. Darshan to the front side, gonna find the stuns, gonna look for the root, gonna look for the damage, and yes, they take him down. Huhi gets the kill credit, but everyone else put in the hard work. Mid lane turret likely to fall to CLG's credit.
Incredible snowball here from CLG. Oh, they ran out of minions, and the bonus armor comes back for the turret. It will delay it. I think they might still be able to return to the siege.
Case. Stixxay gonna actually save the mana in the cooldown. No, does pull the feathers down this time around, but this turret's gonna fall. With Jensen dead, there's really no defense to be had, and CLG gonna go 2-0 in turrets. Gold lead over 2,000.
The mid lane is pretty weak for CLG as well, but man, this is where they really want to take this pressure and get their D division. The next step is going to be crucial. Here comes Ray. You know, he is going with the Tiamat early on Jarvan, and the only defense he really had is Ninja Tabby. Good ultimate there from Huki to get him into range, hold him up there, and buy Xayah enough time to get some feathers down for the pullback.
Does not take a lot of time. Q, auto attack E. It's about a half second until your target's rooted, and that shockwave was enough to get it. Well played by Stixxay. And of course, Ray had no waves out. Flashes down and he get EQ'd forwards. But still, good plays out of Canal Gaming. Blue buff going to go to Jensen here on Cloud9. And
Red
buff stole it. Contract.
As soon as you said gonna go to him, I was like, oh, that red buff.
Caster curse continues. I suck at this game, and it's okay. We move forward in this one. Blue buff not ideal on contracts.
All right, completely different story this time around.
Yep.
Even though, you know, Cloud9 did get that early Infernal, CLG have been pretty, you know, working pretty well around this playmaking, right? Not only do they have Dardoch, but incredible playmaking potential from Aphromoo on this Rakan.
See what they get for themselves here. Quick shutdown on a ward. Control ward is dead. Cena have a couple of deep wards. Double Infernal, always going to be great to have. As you mentioned earlier, the champions have good stats for it. Looks like Dardoch will keep the red buff. They had the chance to go for it, and they didn't want it, it seemed, or they were afraid of the fog of war. At the ward control they had. Contracts once again spotted. And, yep, Stixxay takes the kill on that one. No big deal there.
It's also pretty interesting that, you know, the CS difference in Darshan versus Ray, you know, due to the matchup as well as the extra, you know, jungler attention, is kind of counterbalanced by the CS difference between Jensen and Huhi due to their jungler focus and their matchup, which is advantageous the other way. However, it hasn't meant as much. You know, Jensen's advantage hasn't meant as much as Darshan's has. You know, Ray came into that fight fairly weak. He was not level 11, didn't have the extra ultimate, and it was fairly easy pickings. Whereas the baseline effectiveness there for the Orianna versus the Syndra has been fairly similar, aside from the skirmishes.
Another bad smash out of Dardoch, and now he's going to be in the wrong spot of this one. The invade didn't go very well. Flash to stay alive, and that's going to be an easy pickup there. Sonic Wave. Dardoch losing his ulti and his flash for nothing. A failed invade.
Got to be careful about how much gold you're giving back to, you know, Cloud9 at this point. Next Infernal is up in 10 seconds here, and Dardoch's going to be down. So definitely up to CLG to defend vision around this Infernal Drake, as 2 Infernals over to Cloud9 would be a lot of scaling to worry about for later. And it looks like the attempt at moving in for vision is starting to happen. Both teleports are ready, by the way.
Yeah, not too snappy right now. Dardoch allowed time to respawn. They didn't try to rush it with him still dead. TPs were up for both top laners, so Cloud9 theoretically could have tried, but didn't. Ray gets one auto attack, and then Darshan says, "Get out of my lane." This Renekton certainly has won the matchup, and the choice to grab the Gragas, wait for the Jarvan, and then flex it out and take the Renekton for a better matchup has certainly paid off. Credit to Darshan, who has had, honestly, a bad last 12 months. Since MSI last year, he had been a fairly weak top laner, even by North American standards, which hasn't always been the best. And this time around, he's up against one of the better ones in the league. Ray is certainly one who's gained a lot of respect throughout the last 6 months. And Darshan winning the lane, doing well with his matchup, and being one of the reasons that CLG are winning right now.
Infernal Drake is still available, and with that, you know, time bought for Dardoch to respawn, they can move right in. Plenty of vision, and should be able to even that one up.
Yeah, not even a chance to defend it. No one's even trying. Cloud9 happy to give away control of the map. They had the Scuttle Crab, they knew it was happening, and that was all they were allowed to do. Means the total lead here is just 1,400 gold. Infernal Drake worth about that much in itself, to be honest, statistically anyway. And CLG retain their lead. Cloud9 looking for the mid lane, though.
9 members gravitating this way. Here comes the teleport,
Here comes the ulti and the shockwave to combo. The 2-man lockup, not quite enough, though they can't go get the kills. But there's Sean looking for the front line, can't get the stuns, though. Still looking for somebody. Does have flash, but no longer the stun charge. Cloud9 getting away with their life, but only barely.
Oh, what a sexy combo, but nobody dies. Summoner spells only is the advantage gained there.
Yeah, Huhi actually kind of betrayed Dardoch. I think the shockwaves stymied a little bit of the explosive cast knockback. They didn't go as far as I think they maybe should have. Sneaky, though, maybe gets trapped on this side of the lane. The Xayah pushes there. The wave will be cleared. And looks like it's not going to be Afrin looking for much.
Yeah, 2v1 may be a possibility, but as soon as Smoothie arrives, plenty of defenses in place. Good counter jungle afterwards. So let's take another look at this, because Aframu, again, that was actually the R flash W. Gets both of them. But man, look how low Contracts was.
Actually one hit.
Helps.
Wow, really, really tight stuff right there, but he gets away with it. Dardoch able to clear his jungle a bit more here and kind of catch up as far as XP is concerned, both level 11 here on this one. I do want to see if we see more aggressive builds out of these bruisers. Ray's known for going full damage all the time, but with Death Dance being a better item, with Ravenous Hydra being a bit stronger as well, obviously we're seeing clear Titanic out of Darshan, but will he go Death Dance? The answer is probably no, but
I don't think so. Yeah, Death Dance, while I really like the, the doubling the effectiveness of the passive and stuff like that, you have to be able to put out a lot of damage as well to make it effective. Renekton never really feels like he hits that break point that you're looking for with that stance.
So he'll likely go Stone Plate next item, and this one is just a very efficient tank item overall. Darshan shoving in the wave, no major issues here, and Ray will just last hit under turret without too many issues. Back to the mid lane. One auto attack should kill the turret off. Make it 2. There we go, close enough. Cloud9 actually keeping the game now under 1,000.
How quickly can Stixxay push this bottom turret? Because Cloud9 are rotating back down to the bottom side, and it looks like it's not going to be very quick at all. So don't think CLG will get anything back on the other side of mid turret going down.
Not too much right here. Still the fight in the top lane. Darshan, of course, has Sustain with his Q. Doesn't use much for it yet. Wants to threaten the dive with an empowered stun, but no one's around to make that happen, so out he goes. No one roaming to kill Darshan. He does have a couple wards in this jungle. You can see if you check that northern minimap, there's 3 blue dots in that jungle to help make sure that Darshan can split push safely, but he is not getting the turret damage with this so far. And it looks like Ray is going Titanic Hydra himself. No surprise, of course, on a champion like Jarvan, but also the Ruby Crystal and Longsword mean here.
Last outer turret standing here. They should make a very strong push to get this down during the recall.
That's why Dardoch's waiting around. He's just there to make sure that...
Oh, Baron pings already from Cloud9, though. Ooh. They can use this bottom lane as a bit of a bait. Or maybe they were thinking CLG, actually, since they didn't have vision. Thought that CLG were actually down there.
But it's 4 bot lane at this point. They've all revealed themselves. Only Darshan to the top side, so no one can get over there. Cloud9 can Baron Rush right now if they have the teammates, and they have 4.
Darshan might have to sacrifice in order to
have all 5.
Here.
No one can reach it except Darshan. This is no chance of a smite steal. Darshan is going to pull off a miracle, and CLG, past 20 minutes, send 4 members bot lane and give a free Baron away. Great call by Cloud9, but huge mistake from CLG all the same.
Yeah. 3 was, 3 was decent, but sending all 4 members down there to force it without having any vision on Cloud9 members, just giving away the Baron for an outer turret here. See what they can do on back of it, though.
Well, a lot of damage into Smoothie as some of it gets the knockup, runs away with the bonus health. He's going to stay alive on this one. Contract's going to trade, and okay, CLG get 2 turrets for the Baron. They got the map pressure to do that at least.
But Sneaky, meanwhile, takes the top turret there with his Baron buff, so...
Yeah. Which means that trade is definitely Cloud9 positive to sum up here. 3 turrets fall, 2 towards CLG, 1 towards Cloud9, and of course the Baron still better for the red team here. And we'll see, the game now only 300 apart, and CLG Gaming got such a good start. They got first blood in the bot lane. They had Darshan smashing top as well. That turned into first turret, I believe, in this game. And C9 have weathered the storm, withstood the pressure, and are now in a position to take over the game at 24 minutes.
Bottom lane should definitely be the focus here. The outer turret is some very easy gold for them to get here to fight with. Jensen actually going to push up mid lane before they go for it.
Damage on this turret is going to fall shortly. And down it goes. 3 to 4 in turrets. Cloud9 now up 600 gold. And considering that team was down first blood in the beginning, they had been losing in gold most of this game, and Cloud9 once again in the mid to late game turned the lead finally.
Yeah, how quickly has it swung back in Cloud9's favor here? The Ocean Drake coming up in 15 seconds isn't as big as possibly a third Infernal could have been, but Cloud9 are going to pressure and rotate up to the top side to use this Baron buff for some more effective cash. Nope, Ray just going to be the only one here.
And he's going to be quickly waved up by Darshan. And out they go. Sneaking on his way towards what's assumed to be Infinity Edge third. Same for Stixay, who is himself gone Hurricane. This is one of the... Oh, there's the flash ball. They're going to get the shock grab. They're going to get the kill on a Sneaky. He's got no way out. Hurricane means nothing. The damage is there, and Afro's really made the plays.
Yeah, I tell you, that long-range recon engage is absolutely insane. His flash is back up. Enemy AD carry is back dead. Sneaky, not even any time to get off summoners of his own. Afromu with the very quick combo, no reaction time.
I think that one felt possible potentially, but it's
so you have to really respect and have played against the Rock.
He's in flash W range. I must flash now.
Exactly, and that seems insane, right?
I know. I agree.
That range is a full screen.
Yeah, it is. It's not easy. I think it is possible, but you're right. Afro played it well, and Sneaky, you can't really blame him. Sometimes there's just not enough time to react to the incoming spells. Jensen knows it best. Sometimes it just happens that way. Cloud9 lose up a kill. A Drake goes over to CLG as a result. Well played, Afromu. And we're back to a pretty equal game as the Baron's going to time out. Cloud9 did not get much off that Baron.
I mean, this has been very back and forth. Definitely the Baron helped out a lot for them, but CLG strike back with, again, another play. Here we go, Afromu. They pass him the ball. He moves up with the E.
Yeah, all right, you're right. That's totally possible.
It's a full screen, dude.
All right, I take it back. I take it back.
If we had seen that replay and Sneaky flashes, you start flaming him immediately. You're like, what?
You're right, my bad. That is not on Sneaky. That's actually, see, I don't play with any good recons. I'm a low diamond pleb. No one's that good in my lane, so. But now I'm gonna bring it. I'm gonna gain like 4 rates.
There you go.
Great.
Be the change you deserve.
I'll show all the recons how
Let's take a look actually at the vision, because vision is paramount. And when you're seeing these plays coming, when you're setting up for those team fights, currently, pretty good control ward here. I think that CLG are well aware. C9 were just seen venturing into the river. They don't know where they are exactly, but yeah, know that they should play safe.
Banshee's veiled down. That is a minor gain to be had for Cloud9. Of course, the Drake is gone and will be for several minutes, so no neutrals to play for. But it means maybe Cloud9 can play for a bit of map control. Dardoch still trying to get his farm. He is down a level under contract. Steals 10 gold away from right behind him.
I love the emphasis on playmaking that really resurges when we don't have pure tank building top laners. These are bruiser top laners, right? And that just means that Afromu, with the backline access that you can gain with that flash, it really, really does change the face of the game when there's not just this full tank Galio or full tank Maokai or something standing on the front lines that you have to work through.
And it does feel fairer as well when the top laner solo kills you. At least you spent 6,000 gold on damage items. It's not just, well, I have Cinderhulk and a Dead Man's Plate, and you still die when you're playing Xayah. So at least everyone can feel more fair about this one. But yeah, certainly Ray and Darshan going to have a very big impact on this one. They can also die much faster. And with Infinity Edges both under 1,000 gold away for these bot lane marksmen, there can be some real damage coming out soon.
I think that Cloud9 also, as we went over earlier in the game, are the tools that they have to kill off Stixay, to kill off Xayah, seem like it's a much more difficult feat to pull off for the the lineup that Cloud9 have here. As compared to Afromu, able to get in there with the Orianna ball with some very quick executions.
Yeah, the only not super telegraphed important ability is the Contract's ulti.
Yeah.
Which even then, like you see him coming in.
Yeah, he has to be able to pull off an insect or something.
And unlike a Flash or an Arcane Shift, I'm pretty sure you can Xayah ult during the quarter-second cast animation of it. Right? The root doesn't prevent the R from being cast, which will then stop Contract and distract. He's got to try again afterwards. And yeah, Stixay, provided he's playing well on 0 ping, should have a pretty decent chance of getting away from the threats. Speaking of, Stixay is frontlining, but felt safe again because Xayah kind of gets to do that.
Yeah, especially when Rakan's waiting in the backline. We talk about being able to use the E first into the W combos or into the flash combos. Can really take the enemy team by surprise. Especially your added extra survivability because Orianna shields on top of Rakan shields.
Yep.
Definitely can be misleading if the AD carry is out front.
And just now, Stixay, I believe, got enough gold for Infinity Edge. He can head back to base and buy that. There he goes. And Sneaky is actually at that money as well. And it's right as Baron Nashor spawns. So both these teams, you know for sure, Stixay and Sneaky said, I have IE. I'm a lot more powerful now. And if they don't check the other guy has it as well, they won't realize how much more powerful the opposing marksman got. And those are going to be the major threats in this next team fight.
Yeah. And so then once you identify those as the major threats, you have to look at the defenses around those threats. You know, while Lulu is so good at protecting, you know, AD carries, he has to be very careful not to stand too close lest he get caught in the same engage that catches Sneaky.
Yep.
And as we've seen, it's been like half a second is all that they need to delete him if Lulu's not ready with both shields and ultimate.
And Afros flashes back up, so that same play could be made. And we'll see. CLG have had some very good teamfight combos. The Gragas, Ori, Rakan combo is certainly scary. They get the stun, damage on the contracts. They will not shockwave. They thought he could jump away, and he did. Excuse me. Mid lane, it's C9 clearing it second. CLG, you can see with that deep ward, can watch them clear this away. They see that Ray has burned the E. A little bit of damage comes out from Stixay. WQ, no autos. Ray still in the front lines. They're looking for the engage. Stixay playing with a tight leash. He's only got that one escape tool, just the ulti. He's got a flash otherwise.
This is great. Everybody mid, even gold. Everyone one Infernal Drake. Let's get a team fight going. 5-on-5.
Gonna land the stun on a contract. He's able to ward hop back away, but that's on cooldown now. 30 seconds of Mountain Drake. Baron Nashor is live. Mid lane again. Traded equally. No minions to play for. No turrets to push. Vidoc's gonna heal up inside his own jungle. No big deal. Both teams have some ward control over Baron. Neither one has actually swept it away perfectly, so that is not really fog of war on either side.
And this is where thinking ahead comes into play so big. With so much of the gold and the Drakes equal right now, getting ahead with the vision to get that first couple of seconds in a team fight where you get free DPS on the enemy tank, or you get that opportunity to jump onto the backline means everything here. You can see C9 here being very cautious as they're the ones who have lost this vision war. The playmaking potential from not only Afromu, but also Dardoch with his flash available is definitely intense.
He's the one. Ray's walking forward. He's going to find Darshan. Knockup goes on to the Gragas. There's the polymorph. He's got no way out. The kick to make sure it happens, and Dardoch picked off with the start.
And you can see they use a bunch there to be able to get that because they know just one kill. Uh-oh, CLG looking for a counterplay though.
I'm going to be there. They're going to knock up. The shockwave is there as well. They picked him off immediately, 2 for 0. And Ray can't kill a backline by himself. It's all the time they need as Darshan's able to do that cleanly as well. In the 4v5, they picked up 3 already. Another root on a Ray. The chase is on with the red buff. He's got no way out.
Oh, he's going to flash out.
All right, he's got that way out. I take it back. I continue to make wrong calls these team fights, but CLG lose Dardoch, and it was all a bamboozle. After who wants in, he can W forward.
Got Moby boots.
He's going to find the knockup, and they've got all the tools you think they need to get him down with this one. But the rest of the team is still pushing in the mid lane. The mid inhibitor turret is dead, and as Ray leads him off in a goose chase, Contracts can't survive the 1v2 in the mid lane, so the inhibitor's going to fall as well. The solo laners of CLG take it down, and Ray will still fall here. He is going to die, and now it's a renewed 1 full minute of 5v4 for CLG.
Ah, believe in yourself, Freak. You knew it all along.
He had no way out. I'm a soothsayer.
All right, here we go. Does the Baron have a way out? All the vision's going to get cleared out. I don't think there's any need to rush. So much true side has been set up that they could try and bait further people in, but they're going straight for it, burning it down. C9, no vision inside the pit.
Got a little bit now. Control will turn off the wards consistently. If he lands the Q, explosive cast from Dardoch can prevent the contract steal. He's going to instead go for the kill, and Sneaky is not what he thought he was. Down he goes in the beginning, and Darshan tanks on the CC and doesn't even care. Gargoyles don't play help with that one. Jensen ults the tank, doesn't get much. 2 for 0 CLG, and they're going to go back for mid lane as the ping, actually.
Mid lane already has the inhibitor down.
But maybe they go Nexus turrets. The bot lane is dead. Ray's respawning now. No ult for Jensen. That's the play from CLG. Darshan TP's back in. They're looking to close it out now.
All right, let's see if they can pull this one off. It is a bit risky, but looking for the play. They still have Shockwave. They still have Xayah ultimate. They still have Afromu ultimate as well.
Yep, and they're going for turret number 1. That's going to fall shortly. Good by Stixay, gets away from the stun. There's the engage. They find the Shockwave. They get some of the damage. Darshan just barely staying alive. Feathers don't land much damage on a Ray. Pops the stone plate, stays alive.
Sneaky in 9. Smoothie's up now, yeah.
And they're going to find another stun. They're going to get some damage down onto Dardoch, and all that CLG got was the 1 turret. And in fact, they're a bit low on health now. Ocean Drake means a bit of regen, but Cloud9 have managed to keep their members alive. Ray has ulti, but no follow-up and it means Cloud9 are back on the map. CLG a bit low, but they're regenerating with Ocean Drake. And they're going to go for a trap right there.
They're circling around. I can't wait to hear the end of that story. Take a look at the replay. First, though, this was the kill, and he used so much. Syndra ultimate, flash there from Contracts as well. That gave overconfidence here to Cloud9. They walk through. Remember, still no vision into this team that has comboed them multiple times before. Here's the end of that story. It is C9 now burning down the Baron.
Looking for the play, and it's going to be taken up, and it's Contracts who grabs it. C9 secure it. They're back into this one. Probably more. The knockup, the damage. Darshan is gone. The double shockwave again means so much, but they can't kill the back line, and Dardoch can't do the damage. Ray will be picked off. So much damage does come out of Stixay, who is still holding onto his flash. This backline for CLG has remained so massive.
Dardoch's looking for the slows here to screen them, but Afro...
He pulls in Contracts, though, and doesn't find much to do. The kick on a Huhi. He delivers himself the kill still. Contracts makes it happen. Dardoch finds something else.
What were they doing? They sent Stixay mid to try and, like, push down mid lane or something? He's going now to bottom lane. Contracts is so low.
He's got no way out.
He's pretty much dead.
Oh, that's pretty sick and doesn't matter. He shields himself, pops the W.
Gonna die, go down in a blaze of glory.
Well, it's a 2 for 2 though, and the Baron was still picked up by Cloud9, and they kept the waves alive in mid, so no exit turrets fell.
And they can get back out to that dragon. I think they're gonna take it while we're going in this replay. There it is, Contracts securing that smite in the face of Dardoch, comboing it with the Q there, and then the turn. The turn was good until Jensen and Sneaky, the two carries, both get hit by that shockwave. Nice placement from Huhi. They both walked right onto it, and he was able to get a pretty good one there. Aframu, though, goes over solo.
Yeah.
And Contracts, good punish, realizing that he no longer has the W to add to the escape.
Whew. No way out of this one. Yeah, this is a super close game, and actually it's Counterlogic Gaming still up in gold this game because of all the damage they dealt in the mid lane.
Barely.
Yeah, it's 900 gold, but it's something. Baron buff still on for 2 minutes of, I believe, 3 members of Cloud9. They lost Ray and Contract, but the Squishies still have it. It's kind of unfortunate because no split pushers have the Baron buff. Ray can't bring that somewhere else. Let's see what comes in next.
Definitely fruit. Stone plates do start to come through for all members of the front line. And look at who he's damaged there.
That is a lot of damage.
Carrying it mostly for CLG. He had that very nice shockwave that was on the back line as well. So this is not just damage output, right? It was damage output in critical areas. Even so, Cloud9 picked up the Baron. Even though they won't get to use the buff too much, that's such a big takeaway and definitely saves their base, buys them a bunch of time.
Yep. And the tank shredding items are now in for both these bot lane marksmen as well. Sneaky and Stixay both have their Lord Dominic's regards, and he was still the big one, of course. He's got the Void Staff done. He's got a 10-stack Dark Seal. Either turns it into Magi's or he sells it for a Death Cap.
Oh, Banshee's gone.
And Dardoch rooted in the face and just can't do anything. Jensen takes him down 1 for 0 so far. The fight continues. A nice knockout with the back line, and Darshan's going to try to make it happen. They picked off one so far. He's very tanky. He doesn't do a lot of damage to the stone plate pop, but it's still more out of Stixay. The double kill for Jensen, but Stixay staying alive on this one. And it's 3 members alive versus 3 members alive on both sides.
Afromu keeps pulling these fights back for CLG, even when they're down in numbers. Darshan has to be careful, though. He's trying to chase down the stragglers, delay their recalls so they can't get back to defend the inhibitor. CLG want to retake that inhibitor if possible. He does delay another one of the recalls, but they can't get past Ray.
They can't do it. Mid inhibitor is alive, and they can't kill it, as you're mentioning here. So we stay about equal. 2 kills picked up on both sides. The inhibitor's back up, and it's just 2,000 gold apart. Watch that fight again.
This is a fun one. All right, so he gets off the Banshees, but no hesitation of the counter engage there. Sneaky lands his ultimate, and he gets caught by the shockwave. Then Aframu gets in there for the triple knockup. So actually, this one, Huhi wasn't even set up by Aframu for his shockwave. Huhi got that shockwave first, and Afro got the follow-up. Regardless, though, a bunch of summoners burned again, and they're getting hard to keep track of for the teams in the game. When you're having this many team fights, keeping track of the critical flashes is actually very difficult and incredibly important as well.
Yep. And it's Counterlogic Gaming. I mean, so many players are playing so well. Aframu with the insane engages. Huhi getting them sometimes without Aframu, just soloing people out with a shockwave. Stixay, huge KP, no deaths, and he even soloed Sneaky, well, cleaned up Sneaky, I should say, in that team fight. And then Cloud9, of course, getting similar situations out of them as well. You've seen Jensen consistently one-shot people. Counterlogic Gaming, as you can see with that Baron power play. Keep in mind, you get 1,500 just for killing Baron itself. And so the fact that it's plus 750 means actually Canal Gaming did more with the fact that C9 had Baron than C9 did.
And it was a little bit expected, as Cloud9 were the ones on the back foot, right? Their inhibitor was down, and it was definitely a comeback play. But yeah, you're right. It's just an indicator of how close this has been. Regardless, we're approaching the 6-item point of the game where it really comes down to the fight setup. I mean, at that point, neutral objectives actually are more about the setup and more about can you turn to win the fight than going for, you know, the smite fights or going for actually the last hits there on the neutral objective, because you know, it doesn't matter if you are able to get Baron if 4 members die in the process. Regardless, we're actually going to have maybe a base race here.
CLG faster, though. They're already on to mid lane, or sorry, top lane tier 2. That's going to fall immediately, and it's suddenly Cloud9 forced to back up and play for this one.
Yeah, they realize too late. They have to abort mission now and go back to defend, but CLG should be able to get another inhibitor turret here.
Should be 2 turrets now as they stay. The rest of the team's going to be coming around. Jarvan's flanking as well. This could be a 5v5 that Cloud9 could win. A lot of damage on the stick, say. The charm is there, but no follow-up, and a Jensen shockwave finally lands. He gets away with the flash, though. Into the front line, to the back line they go. Stickman trying to kite away, but he's still stuck in the pit. But he gets the damage across 2, shut down already. They've got the knockback out of Sneaky. It's 3 down, and the back line stays alive. Well played by Counter Logic Gaming. Smoothie cannot keep his base alive. CLG will make it happen. The comeback, the win comes through. 1-1 the series will go, and we will have a decider. The backline, the switches of CLG putting in so much work in the team fights, and they close out the game.
Oh, baby, game number 3. Aphromoo and Stixxay pull out the new duo combo, constant playmaking from them, and in the end, the critical team fight, Shockwave lands, pulls them back in, but it's the re-engage where Stixxay lands the huge ultimate into the W pullback and killed off 3 members with the execute there.
Yep.
Absolutely critical.
And it's hard to know who to praise the most because I think there were so many good plays and so many members of CLG. Cloud9 had the good shot calls.
Cloud9.
Of course, I mean, this was honestly, I thought, a very well-played game on both sides. Cloud9 did a really good job getting the comeback. You could say there's mistakes that allowed that, and that's fair. The first Baron was a CLG mistake, and it was a Cloud9 capitalized. But you look at Stixxay, unkilled the entire game, huge damage output overall. I'm going to look at the graph itself for the damage done, and Huhi still did more is the thing. That even though Stixxay looked super flashy, Huhi landed basically every shockwave, withstood a bad matchup, still made it happen, landed huge damage. Afro's getting super sick charm flash W's in, just like so many great things happened. Darshan smashed the lane with the help of Dardoch, and they got first turret from there.
Yeah,
remember
both the lanes were like, the good matchup won. The good matchup also had jungle pressure, so it was, you know, top lane one way and mid lane the other way. Definitely enjoyable. Can't wait for game number 3.
Gonna be a fun one. So now we've got our analyst standing by to break down that CLG Game 2 win.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. I can't wait for Game 3 either, Kobe, but CLG here evening it up at 1-1 to give us that 3rd game. But this one was rather close. CLG winning fights ahead in the gold while C9 is getting control of the map and taking the objectives. Ultimately, though, it comes down to one final team fight at the inhib in C9's base. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. A reminder of how the game finishes here in epic fashion.
Yeah, just honestly a much better team fighting composition from CLG, but I like how Darshan keeps Ray out for long enough because he wants to go in. That actually stops him from getting right in there at the beginning with the body slam, and then you can see the peel back here with the ultimate from Xayah and the route backwards and just the cleanup. Really just well played from CLG, and I think Darshan played that correctly because a lot of the times your frontliner will go to the side, or sorry, Dardoch played that correctly. Darshan, Dardoch, they're on the same team now.
And Darshan played Gragas last game,
so
it's a little bit confusing.
And he did that to Ray in the previous game.
Exactly, but also solid ultimates by Huhi throughout the game, multiple times getting both Sneaky and Jensen in a shockwave as he did there in that final fight. Yeah. But we've got a lot to parse through here, so I'm going to move us right along. Talking about champion select, a completely different look for the top laners this time around, going for 2 fighters as opposed to 2 tanks, and then you already mentioned the switch, or rather switch up of the junglers here with the Gragas this time for Dardoch, the Lee Sin for contracts, and then we'll obviously get down to Xayah and Rakan. But first, let's talk about these top laners.
Exactly. They didn't want a last pick for Jensen, so they they ended up going for the Jarvan, and then it was the flex of the Gragas to jungle so they could have the Renekton. And they just smashed the top lane, like 30 CS up really early on in the game. Multiple ganks went towards that top side of the map to free up Darshan because the rest of them want to team fight. Renekton's kind of the odd man out in this team fighting composition, so you set him up for success to constantly keep Jarvan in a side lane and constantly put pressure, and then immediately from there, you're able to take those team fights, and I think that's what they were going for on CLG's side.
All right, now let's talk about the two new faces in the NALCS, Xayah and Rakan, their debut. How did you feel Stixxay and Aphromoo did with these two champions?
I mean, did a meta preview, said these are the two guys I thought would bring it out. I mean, they're kind of dating now, I guess. So, like, but I think that these two champions are really kind of undersold. I think that Xayah and Rakan are fantastic, especially when paired together. And Aphromoo on this playmaking champion is what I want to see from CLG. Last split, you went through the NA All-Pro LCS team, and it was 3 people, not Aphromoo. It's going through Olay, Biofrost. You have Smoothie as number 1. Aphromoo not even the conversation. Now he's on a playmaker, and you're looking at plays like that, where he's setting up his team. That's exactly what you want to see from this guy who was invisible in spring and could completely revitalize CLG.
Yeah, even in game 1, right? We talked about that first blood being a contribution of both Dardoch and Aphromoo roaming to make plays. But here we're seeing him showcase on a champion that is built to make plays. And then beyond that, you made the point to me throughout the game that even his item build suggested his desire to make plays, right? Looking for that speed up from the Talisman of Ascension along with the Ruby side stuff.
Yeah, for more frequency of having that speed increase, but just his willingness to dive in and the team being completely behind him. But also, I gotta say, Stixxay very fast on this Xayah, able to set up a route from nothing with an auto Q immediately, having his passive up. But just the follow-up here, that is a disgusting team fight that is over before it even starts, with the shockwave combined with the entrance there from Aphromoo on the Rakan.
Again, I'm surprised the game wasn't as close as it was, given the number of times that Huhi, along with Aphromoo, were getting that double combo on both carries from C9's squad. But that's where we have to talk about the macro play from these teams, and where, while CLG gets the victory here, there's a lot of learnings that they can take as a squad with a new jungler in here. You can't give up Barons for free.
Absolutely. 2 Barons went over to Cloud9, and really, there's no excuse for that for Counterlogic Gaming, having enough of a lead that they did. And the fact that they're a team fighting comp, you want to be at Baron first and let them come to you. This is the actual play that got C9 back into the game. They clear out the bottom wave, then they back in vision, are out of vision, but both Dardoch and Huhi are coming down bottom to make a play on this bottom side. And you saw there with the vision, they had no idea. But Jensen actually takes a sweeper across the path that his bottom lane is now going to take in towards that side of Baron. So they have no idea here. CLG are thinking they're going to make a 4-man dive bottom, and then they're like, oh, wait, they back.
Oh, where are they? Exactly.
Yeah. And then they have no idea. They even ward in the tri-brush to make sure that nobody's hanging out there. And then that's when they show, and everybody on CLG starts panicking. Time to get this turret and get something for this, because this Baron just gets shredded so quickly by Cloud9. And really, just great macro play there too, because they called out that bottom lane to go back and then run that path. And that was beautifully played. Those are those clever plays that get you pressure in a game where you are behind.
Yeah, multiple Barons going over to C9. However, the victory goes over to CLG. And again, the player that had the biggest impact in terms of creating that victory is Aphromoo. He'll be receiving player of the game. Huhi, honorable mention here, because again, it was the 2 of them in combo very often getting that ultimate off on the 2 carries in order to win the team fight.
Yeah, Stixxay really had a good game as well. Deathless on the Xayah, but Aphromoo with the bold playmaking there, getting so many summoner spells, so many team fights start off on the right foot. And I definitely think, like you said, Huhi with the follow-up and some shockwaves himself that just decimated team fights, did struggle in the early game with 2 early deaths, and it was the bottom lane that helped rescue it.
And now I'm just excited because we have 2 different looks, right? We had the tank top lanes, kind of the C9 had the better team fight in game 1, CLG had the better team fight in game 2. I'm just curious to see what'll come out in game 3. Our first series of the split is going to that 3rd game. Meet us back here in a few minutes to see if C9 or CLG start off the summer with a bang. Don't touch that browser.
The mind games. Mind games, well then, yeah. Mind games. Got it.
Got him.
Got him.
Nako's gonna land there. Look at the damage over. They got the root aside, and look at the damage output. They're gonna take him down. First blood to Xayah and Rakan in the bot lane.
But they do have the gold advantage currently. Hooray!
Shock with the roots there as well, and that was overstepping.
Strike us. He's dead. We can fight now. Go.
Ready? I'm going on Jetson.
Yep. Okay.
Right here.
Yep, ulting.
Get him,
Jumping.
The charm is there, but no follow-up, and a Jensen shotwave finally lands. He gets away with the flash, though. Into the front line, to the back line they go. Sickly trying to kite away, but he's still stuck in the pit. But he gets the damage across 2, shut down already. They've got the knockback out of Sneaky. It's 3 down, and the back line stays alive. The comeback, the win comes through. 1-1, the series will go, and we will have a decider.